Chag Sameach to all the listeners. I'd like to talk about Shvi'i Shel Pesach. On the night of Shvi'i Shel Pesach, we had a wonderful miracle of Kriyat Yamsuf, the splitting of the Red Sea. But before that, I want to share with you a story which happened to a young man. Maybe you know him. There was once a young man who was taken away from his family, from his friends. He was all alone, way away from all his family, from all his friends. Wasn't easy for him, but things were going well. Things were going well with him. He was having, everything he did went fine, went well. Where he was working, people liked him, people were fond of him, good-looking young man. And yeah, everything sounded like he'll have everything on his good side. Till one day, things started getting complicated. What happened? His boss's wife set his eyes on him. Set her eyes on him, and she wouldn't leave him alone. Day after day, a few times a day, she would try and convince him that maybe he could have a different kind of life. Maybe with her, he'll have a different opportunity. She enticed him in many other ways, and things didn't look wasn't easy for him. He was a young, religious man, religious boy. He tried his hardest to keep away from her, and for most of the time he was succeeding. He was having a hard time, but he was succeeding. Until one day, things were too hard. Don't forget, he was alone, he was away from his family, no one could see him. And he was almost falling in this big trap, in this big nisayon. And that day, he was alone with her, and he was almost going to give him to his Yetzer Hara. And what happened next? Thoughts came into his head. Don't give in, don't give in. Don't give in, it's not worth it, don't do it. You'll have pleasures, but they'll be temporary. Don't give in, please. And these feelings inside him, yes, no, yes, no. There was a war inside him, a battle which wasn't easy to win. And one of the feelings he had was, I have all to win. If I give in to this opportunity, I'll have a good time, and then maybe I'll have the best. Who knows what will come out of it? And on the other hand, Hashem won't be happy with me. Maybe it won't be what I was brought up with. Maybe things will have to change. I won't be the same person I was till now. But who cares? Look where I am now. I'm far away from my family. I'm far away from my friends. Far away from my father. It's worth it. It's a new life. I'll have a different kind of life, but it's worth it. Why can't I do it? And these thoughts were inside him, and the battle was at its highest point. And then he just overcame the battle. He won, and he decided, I am not doing it. I'm not doing something which isn't right. I'm not doing something which I don't believe is right. and he pulled himself away with all his kochot. He pulled himself away and he ran out of the house. He ran out of the house, leaving evidence at home, in the house. The evidence was that his jacket stayed in the house. She had his jacket. He left without doing anything wrong, but leaving evidence as if he did something wrong. And Yosef Hatsadik was put in prison. He was put in prison because there was some kind of, as if there was evidence, and he rotted there for 12 years. And then we all know the rest of the story. Yosef Hatsadik was taken out of prison and was brought in front of Paro. Miraculously, he became the second right-hand man of Paro, and he became a very important man, maybe one of the most in the world. And history tells us everything, the Torah tells us everything that happened afterwards. But to us, all these years, who knew the truth? Did anyone know the truth about Yosef? Did anyone come out with the truth? Did the newspapers maybe come out with the truth? Did someone come out saying, you know, it wasn't true what Yosef didn't do anything? No one came out with the truth. No one knew. Maybe he is an important man. Maybe he's almost a king. But who knows what he did that day? Maybe it's true that he sinned with his boss's wife. Maybe it's true. Who knows it's not true? And the truth never came out. We know the truth, but the truth never came out. Never was publicized. Some people in the hearts maybe thought that Yosef did sin. Many years passed, it was only Yosef's word against the whole world. No one knew the truth. 100 years passed, 200 years passed, and the truth didn't come out to light. Rabotai, we want to go back to the story of Shvi'i Shel Pesach. What happened on the night of Shvi'i Shel Pesach? A whole nation, millions of people came out of Mitzrayim, and they're walking down towards the desert, and there's a sea in front of them, and they have to cross the sea. Mitzrayim, the Egyptians are behind them. There's a midbar on the sides, and in front of them there's a sea. And Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, go into the sea. Hashem said, just walk into the sea. How do you walk into a sea? How do you walk into a sea when there's water there? And Moshe tells them, it doesn't matter, just walk in and hope for Hashem's Yeshua. And they start walking in. And there's no way what's gonna happen. It's not like, we know the end of the story. But the Jews are thinking, what's gonna happen now? We're gonna drown in the sea? Who wants to drink so much water? And they're walking in front of the water, and they're hoping maybe a miracle will happen. But where's the miracle? We can't see a miracle. And we have families, we have children. What do we do with them? How do you go in with children into a sea? Maybe I could try and swim, but what do you do with everyone? What do you do with all your belongings? And Am Yisrael is very worried. And one of the things that happened there was outstanding. We all know that with the Jewish people came out, Moshe Rabbeinu carried the Aron of Yosef. The Aron of Yosef was the coffin of Yosef Hatsadik. They were carrying it with them. and they were bringing it closer to the waters. And as they got closer to the waters, the coffin started to approach the Red Sea, and as it approached, as it touched the Red Sea, suddenly the water started going back. And as the coffin went forward, the waters went back, and they started splitting. The waters split because of the coffin of Yosef Hatsadik. Arono shel Yosef made the waters run away. Vayanos hayam, the sea split away and run away because of the zechut of Yosef Hatsadik. And a voice came out from Shamayim saying, Yanus, the waters should flee mipenei hanas, because of the Yosef Hatsadik who ran away from his boss's wife. And here in front of millions of people, millions of his descendants, of other people, of the Shvatim of Am Yisrael, in front of millions of people, the truth came out to the public. And everyone here heard the voice of the Shamayim coming and saying, Yosef Hatsadik never sinned. In those four walls where everyone thought he did something wrong, where everyone thought maybe he did something wrong. Maybe something wrong was with Yosef. And here everyone realized Yosef did nothing wrong. Yosef was pure. Yosef was a tzaddik, and one of the only people in our history who have a name stuck to them. Yosef Hatsadik, for being such a tzaddik, when no one else could see him, when no one else clapped their hands for him, when no one else appreciated the big nisayon he went through. Here millions of people felt they owed their lives to Yosef Hatsadik. They owed their lives to someone who kept his beliefs even though no one was looking at him. Someone who kept to what he was brought up with. Someone who kept to what Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov taught him, even though no one was going to clap their hands for him. And one who does such a thing, maybe no one was there to clap their hands while he won the battle of the Nisayon, but everyone was there to clap their hands after 200 years, when everyone saw that he was saving millions of people because of his zechut. So everyone there clapped their hands and said, wow, what one person does means a lot and could save hundreds and thousands and millions of people from being drowned in the Yam Suf, from being killed by the Egyptians. They all owe this zechut to Yosef Hatsadik. Why? Because 200 years ago, in four walls, he was able to win the biggest battle. This is what the zechut of a person who does things even though no one sees what he does, even though no one appreciates what he does. But these zechuyot don't get forgotten. These zechuyot will be rewarded, will be appreciated in its time. They will be appreciated and they will be kept. These zechuyot will be kept forever. Let us take this lesson. Shvi Shel Pesach has many lessons. This is one of them. That what a person does means a lot in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and will be appreciated even though it's not appreciated at the moment. Will have a zechut forever and ever, even though you don't see it at the moment. Let us keep to our beliefs. Let us keep to what we have heard, what we have received from Rabbotenu, the derech of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the derech of the Shivtei, what Yosef Hatsadik is teaching us, and Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem Yevarech et Kulchem. You should be blessed, you, your children, your family, and all of you should have Chag Kasher Besameach, Briut, Hatzlacha, Beracha, Bekol Maaseh Yedechem, and all the best. Chag Sameach.